President Cyril Ramaphosa is convening the first Cabinet Lekgotla with members of the new Government of National Unity. SABC News political reporter Samkele Maseko joins me now live from there. Samkele, a very good morning to you. Thanks indeed for your time. We understand that the media is about to be let in very shortly, but just talk to us about the importance of this meeting, this first Cabinet Lekgotla of the Government of National Unity, and what's expected to take centre stage.
Well, Criselda, this Cabinet Lekgotla of the Government of National Unity is very important as it will ultimately lay the foundation and the drafting of the State of the Nation address to be delivered by President Cyril Ramaphosa next week, Thursday, on the official opening of Parliament. It will also look at the economic trajectory of the country. You know that the economy is in the doldrums. We've got the Minister of Energy and Electricity, Dr. Ramaphosa, who is working with the Minister of Finance, working with his department as well, and also working with the Department of Environment in South Africa's procurement of that 2,500 megawatt new nuclear power station that is envisaged to be built in the Eastern Cape, where it was last designed to be essentially built within that specific province. We've got issues pertaining to the Department of Trade and Industry when it comes to the various sectors within South Africa's economy that is now being spearheaded by Park Stau, who is the minister there with Zukoko Limpi as well, and also as with the other deputy minister from the Democratic Alliance when it comes to the issues of trade and industry and fostering that much needed foreign direct investment into the country. And also the country's foreign affairs policy. You've seen the new minister of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, Ronald Lamula, who will be spearheading South Africa's message on the global fora as well. That will also be a subject of debate here. I did see earlier on the Director General at DECO who was here. That was Mr. Zain Tango. So essentially this Cabinet Lekgotla is looking at three areas: energy security of the country, economic growth of the country, and also the eradication of the triple challenges of poverty, inequality, and also underdevelopment, which sets the tone for the State of the Nation address, which will be delivered by the President next week. But rather interestingly, as this cabinet is new, the Cabinet Lekgotla sits for the very first time. You've got new members of other political formations who are sitting in their very first Cabinet Lekgotla, namely John Steenhuisen of the Democratic Alliance. You've got Gayton McKenzie of the Patriotic Alliance. You've got Vulenkosini Hlabisa of the Inkatha Freedom Party, out of the 7 political formations that are in the executive of the country as well. As you can see, some of the visuals I saw earlier on, some of the ministers and the deputy ministers who were on a tea break. I saw Dean McPherson, the Minister of Public Works within the country. He was outside here as well. Also saw Kenny Murolong, the Deputy Minister in the Presidency, and also the Minister in the Presidency, Kumbuzo Nchaveni, was also outside with us. But essentially it is the economy, it is energy security of the country, it is the eradication of the triple challenges, and it is ultimately the preparation of the cabinet, or rather the State of the Nation address that will be delivered by the President next week. But also it brings about the question of the Government of National Unity's political council that will be used as a center to resolve some of the policy and ideological differences that may emanate from government's posture, or what government should do, or which posture they should take, mainly on international relations, and secondly on the economic trajectory of the country. Criselda.
Right, just behind you there, Samkele, I see Gwede Mantashe just behind you there. I know you're quite, you're often, right behind you, all right. I don't know if you'd be able to, all right, he's headed towards that direction, and I know that you're not allowed to go in there at this time. But Samkele, I was precisely on that was going to be my next point. How difficult does it make it, to look at issues relating to these policies now that you have a mixed masala, I call it, or a salad of different political parties that have come together? I know the tone is that of unity. The tone is that of in the interest of all South Africans. But obviously behind the scenes, these different political parties have different constituencies Some of them have different policies on certain issues. How difficult is that going to make it, that these political parties now have to sit in that room behind you, iron out all of these things, and this tone of unity and the interest of South Africans seems to come through even more so after they make whatever decisions there?
It's going to be rather interesting, Griselda, because the president will have a difficult balancing act to do, particularly noting some of the economic policies that the Democratic Alliance has that may be at odds with the former liberation movement, the ANC and its tripartite alliance partners, COSATU, and also the South African Communist Party, especially on the issues of labor. You know, COSATU, you know that the Democratic Alliance tends to take a hardline stance on labor within the country. We are now, Griselda, effectively going in, and you will be seeing those shots. I will try and speak over the visuals as we are going in with my colleague here, which is Gabi Njokweni, who we are working with. You will see the visuals of the very first Cabinet Lekgotla of the government of national unity. You may excuse some of our shaky shots there. You can also see the president of the country there, Cyril Ramaphosa, as he will also now be effectively going to take his seat next to his deputy president. That would be Paul Shipokosa Mashatile. My colleague Gabi Njokweni will move around and take those visuals of the ministers. As you can see that the president is here. He is chairing this Cabinet Lekgotla alongside the Deputy President of the country, Paul Mashatile. You can see they are all smiles. And you can also move around as my colleague Gabi Njokweni.
Action.
You can hear the Deputy President and the President. They're saying this GNU in action. How are you, President? Are you fresh? And I'm live. Do you want to speak to the SABC?
Very well. The GNU is up and alive and working. We're working very hard here. And people are contributing. Everyone is talking. So it's great. It's a good start to the GNU. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That is the president there of the country. Just greet the deputy president as well. Hope you're good, deputy president. That is the deputy president of the country. You can see my colleague Gabi Njokweni showing you the various ministers. You can see the Minister of Health. That would be Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, alongside Minister Sindisiwe Chikunga as well. How are you, Minister? I'm good, ministers. We're just going to move along. You're also going to see Patricia Delo, who comes from her own party as well. How are you, Minister? Are you good?
Always good.
Minister, are you fine? Right. I'm good. That is the Minister of Police, the Senzo Mtunu, as well, alongside other ministers. We are going to move along and show you other ministers who are here. You can also see the Women's League President, also the Minister of Social Development. You can also see Minister Butelezi from the Inkatha Freedom Party, Deputy President of the IFP. You can also see here who is Mr. Peter Groenewald from the Freedom Front Plus. You can also see the Deputy Minister of Sport, who's waving the peace mabe alongside Mkhuleko Hlengwa from the Inkatha Freedom Party, Deputy Minister of Transport within the country. And you can also see the President of the IFP, Minister of COCTA, Vela Nkosini Hlabisa, alongside Phemima Jodina, the Minister of Water and Sanitation. Can also see Gayton Mackenzie, who is in his very first Cabinet Lekgotla. Very excited, Minister. How is distributing those names, revealing files there, sports and arts and culture, and the Minister of Land Affairs, Mzwanele Nyonso, Upho Qomadot, the person who has to bring back the land to the people. And you've got John Vuligate. How are you, John Vuligate?
Good, and you?
I'm good. With the...
And I'm Valagate, because on farms you've got to close gates. You can't leave them open.
That is John Steenhuisen and Premier Ellen Windy from the Western Cape, with Mandla Ndlovu as well, the Premier of Mpumalanga. Those are effectively some of the ministers and the premiers who are gathered here just to show you the other minister who is here, who is the Deputy Minister of Defense, rather, alongside Zamani Sol. That would be Bantu Holomisa, the leader of the UDM, and Zamani Sol. You can also see the Premier of the Northwest Province, Premier of Mpumalanga as well, and the Deputy Ministers at the back. On this other side, just going to ask my colleague Gabi Jokweni, almost called him Joe Gabi there, Premier of Limpopo, Premier of Eastern Cape, Premier of Gauteng, Panyaza Lusufi, Premier of the Free State, the one who swept the carpet under Mngolisi Tukwana. You can also see the Minister Scriber there, Minister of Home Affairs, Minister Meth of Labour, the Minister of Communications, the one who's in charge of the SABC. I saw you said they were cooking something nice there at Auckland Park.
You are cooking something nice, but editorial independence is the most important one.
Thank you very much. You can also see the Minister of Public Works. We've got a difficult task. That 10 million, have you found those people who stole it?
We are currently investigating, and we are going to make sure that Public Works works.
Thank you very much, Minister. You can also see the Minister of Basic Education. I'm now being asked to leave. I'm going to be dealt with by the President. He's very angry at me right now. But it is the Government of National Unity. Papai Shipokos, Papai TP. That is the Deputy President of the country. That would be Paul Mashatile, the Criselda, who are now effectively being asked to leave the Cabinet Lekgotla, where the Minister in the Presidency, Kumbudzo Nchaveni, will say a few words to us.